Hello, juniors. It's that time of year when the counselors usually have a meeting with the whole junior class to talk about some of the important things that have to happen as we get ready for you to become seniors, which is happening very soon. We'd like to have this meeting in person, but that's a little hard to do this year, so we've decided to make a video for you instead. So whether you are planning to apply to college, trade, or technical school, whether you're going to get a job, you're thinking about a gap year, or entering the military, it's likely that you will need something from us, from the counselors, whether that's a transcript or a letter of recommendation. It's time to get a little organized about it to get those things ready for you when you return to school in the fall. We'll meet again in the fall in person. Early in the year to go over all of the details about how to request those items, how to get them sent where you need them to go. But for now, there are a couple of things that you should know and also some things that you should be doing. First and foremost, there are a couple of tasks that we want you to take care of. And so I'm going to show you here on our counseling department website, which is on the high school webpage. There are a lot of items here along the side for you to research. You've seen these before. We've talked to you about these before. And when we've met one-on-one this spring, we've probably mentioned to you that this Forms and Documents tab over here becomes a really important place for you to go to, particularly as you enter your senior year. And so if we look here at Forms and Documents, there are 3 items on this page that we really want you to pay attention to going into the summer. There are some things here that you can take care of that will make your life next fall a lot easier. The first one is this Permission to Transmit Records form. I'm going to show you what that looks like. It looks like this: Permission to Transmit Student Records. We, the school, cannot send your transcripts anywhere, to colleges, to military recruiters, to anybody who's looking for to hire you for a job, unless we have permission to do that, either from you if you're 18 or from your parents. And so before we can send those school records, we need permission to do that. And so the sooner you get this form signed and submitted to us, your counselors, the easier your life will be when you come to actually request a transcript. All you have to do is print this out, put your name here, you sign it if you're 18, a parent or guardian signs it, and you submit it to us. There's also a space down here for a letter of recommendation waiver, which says that you're going to waive your right to read your letters of recommendation before they're sent to schools. That means that your letters of recommendation are going to stay private. You don't have to approve it before it gets sent to a school. Colleges expect and employers expect that a letter of recommendation stays private. If you have to read it before it gets sent to them, then they're not going to accept that letter of recommendation. So our advice is that you check, yes, I waive my right to access. You sign this part of it, and then you turn this in with the rest of this form. Okay? Let's go back over here to the Forms and Documents page. We'll explain the rest of these forms and documents, particularly this transcript request form, next fall when we meet to go over kind of more details. But over the summer, there are 2 other important things that you guys should take care of. When you come to ask the counselors for a letter of recommendation, all college applications require a counselor letter of recommendation. We're going to ask you for a student brag sheet and a parent brag sheet. And the student brag sheet and the parent brag sheet are just lists of questions, right? They're pretty straightforward questions, but we need you to answer these in some detail to help us write a big picture, thorough letter of recommendation about you. Nobody sees the answers to these questions except for your counselor. We don't send these questions and answers to colleges or to employers, but we use this information to help us write our letter of recommendation. And there's a student brag sheet and a parent brag sheet. You can have one parent, both parents, a guardian, some other close, trusted family friend or adult, if you'd rather have that person do it, an older brother or sister, but somebody who knows you very well answer the questions on the parent brag sheet. And the sooner you get this to us, the sooner the counselor will be able to write your letter of recommendation. We will definitely need it at least 4 weeks before your transcript and letter of recommendation are due for colleges. But we don't anticipate that being before the start of school, so you have all summer to do a good job writing these student brag sheets and to get your parents to write their parent brag sheets. So over the summer, or now, whenever you feel like doing it, we request that you do the transcript, permission to transmit records form, and the student brag sheet and the parent brag sheet. Those are good things to get out of the way early. Okay, so let's talk about what else you can be doing this summer to prepare yourself for your senior year. If you've been working to create a list of colleges that you might be applying to, now's a good time to start to narrow down and focus that list. And there are a couple of different ways you can do that. Primarily, you're going to be doing some research about those colleges. We've talked a lot this year about how you can do virtual visits with schools by visiting the admissions web pages and attending virtual visits that the colleges are sponsoring, virtual tours. The good news is that many colleges this summer are opening up for in-person visits. So if that's something that you're able to do with your family, then we definitely encourage you to participate in in-person visits to get a sense of what you might like and not like so much about certain colleges. That will absolutely help you to narrow your list a bit. You should certainly continue to participate in virtual opportunities to learn about colleges. Do your research by talking to people that you know, family members, friends, about what they think about their own personal experiences in college to help you identify what is appealing to you and what might not be so much of a priority. If a school allows for interviews, then we recommend that you participate in opportunities to do interviews. If you're applying to service academies, now is the time to be researching what you need to do for the nomination process. You can identify that by looking at government representatives' web pages. You can certainly talk to your counselor about that process as well. If you are interested in the military, now is a good time to be making contact with those military recruiters. If you're looking at doing things for gap years, there are internship opportunities, there are travel opportunities to start to research. And if, again, always, if you're not sure about the specific plan that you're going to pursue and what you should be doing beyond kind of the college visits, definitely talk to your counselor between now and the start of the summer. We're pretty confident that most of you have done what you need to do in terms of requesting your letters of recommendation if you're applying to college. But if you haven't done that, now is definitely the time to take care of that. Preferably, your letters of recommendation will come from teachers from your junior year. Talk to your counselor if you need advice about this, but it's best not to leave this until the fall. One of the things we've asked all juniors to do is to complete a resume in Naviance. There's a really nice template for that. It doesn't take long. It's pretty straightforward. If you haven't finished that task, please log into your Naviance account and finish the resume task. If you're having any trouble saving your resume in Naviance, ask your counselor, or you can even just email me directly, and I will help you take care of that saving part of the resume. And my email is just kdunning@wssd.org, or the WSSD Gmail account is also fine. For students who are applying to college, you can start to work on your college essays over the summer. We really recommend that you spend some time this summer thinking about your college essay so that when you come back in the fall, you're not overwhelmed by everything that you need to do for your classes and college applications and writing this very important essay. We will put a link to the Common Application essay topics in an email that we're going to send to you, as well as on the front page of the counseling department website, so that you can easily access those Common App essay topics and have a look at them. You should, if you don't already have a plan for your standardized testing, if you're going to be pursuing more standardized testing, SATs or ACTs, you should have a plan for that, whether you're going to be taking any tests this summer or in the fall. If you're somebody who thinks they would require some testing accommodations, you're going to want to make sure that those accommodations are in place. You can speak to your counselor. There's also an SAT and ACT tab on the counseling department website, and there's a link to the letter that explains how to apply for accommodations there. In the fall, we hope to welcome college admissions representatives back in person to school to be doing college rep visits. We know for sure that some of them will be doing some virtual visits, but we're very hopeful that we'll have college reps here in person doing visits. We'll have dates for those visits in a lot of different places. We'll have our calendar with college rep visits on the website. We'll send emails out. Dr. Hilden was great about including those rep visit dates in his weekly email blast this year. There's a calendar, right, as I said, the calendar on our website, emails, and they're also listed in Naviance. We really encourage students to take advantage of this opportunity to meet with those college reps. It's just an invaluable experience. If you are going to be a college athlete, particularly at the Division I or Division II level, you will need to register with the NCAA. There's a link to the NCAA registration page on the counseling department website. The steps to register are very straightforward. You follow the link on our website, and it takes you directly to the NCAA website where you create a login and just follow the steps to register. If you're not sure whether you're going to be playing in a Division I or Division II school, but you think it's a possibility, you might as well go ahead and register and just be prepared that way. The common application. We've talked to you guys by now about what the common application is. If you still have questions about what the common application is, just let your counselor know and we can explain it to you again. But it's a good idea for you, if you think you will be applying to a school that takes the common application, to create a common application account. They're still using the 2020-2021 common application. But you, as a graduate, a 2022 graduate, can create an account now. And then when it rolls over, usually around August 1st, to the 2022 application, you'll get an email saying, hey, do you want to roll over your account to the 2022 class? And you'll just say yes, and it will roll over all your information. But it's a great idea when school gets out for you to create your Common App account, just to check that off the list. You can start to fill in some biographical information, some information about your education and your school, and just you'll have that taken care of. It's just one less thing that you have to do later on in the summer. There are a couple of schools, really not very many, who open up their college applications in the summer, in mid-July. Off the top of my head, University of Pittsburgh, sometimes Penn State, and I have Wake Forest in my head because they've started to do that. Those schools don't require anything from your counselor or the school in order to allow you to do that application. So if for some reason you decide that you want to get that application done this summer, when they open that application opportunity up, you can do whatever you need to do for that application on your own without us. We are not sending transcripts or letters of recommendation out over the summer. Our office is open, but the counselors aren't all here, and transcripts aren't ready for the fall to be sent out yet until we come back to school with you guys as seniors in September. Everything you need to complete that application, you have. Those schools accept something called a self-reported academic record instead of an official transcript from the school anyway, which just means that you'll have to report all of the classes and your grades that you earned in them throughout high school. That's just how they do it. So you don't actually need anything from our office until quite a ways down the road anyway. Some of the other things that we have for you that we'll post links to on the front page of our website, and we'll send an email with those links in it as well, are some kind of handouts with interview kind of tips, some advice about how to best handle yourself in interviews, some questions to ask when you're doing in-person and virtual college visits, some essay advice, things like that. So that'll be on our website. We'll put that in an email to you. And we also have the actual paper copies of those handouts here in our office if you want to come and pick them up. And again, this is all stuff that we are happy to talk to you about in person, and we will review with you in an in-person meeting in the fall. Finally, counselors are available for a few days over the summer to meet with you and with your families if you would like to talk about kind of where you are in this application process, or you're planning for life after high school. If you don't want to meet over the summer, or you don't get an appointment scheduled, that's completely fine. We are obviously available as soon as school starts to have those meetings as well. There's lots of time for that. What happens is that right before the end of the school year, a letter will come out from our office giving the dates that were available for those meetings. And then you or your parents or guardians can call into our office and reserve one of those times if you would like. It is not required. You're welcome to do it, but we can always meet at another time if you would prefer. So as always, if you have any questions, you can contact your counselor. Come and see us. We'd love to see you. We wish that we were doing this meeting in person. We're sad that we're not seeing you. We can't wait until we can see you, but we're here to answer any questions. There's a lot of information on our website about timelines, about scholarships, about athletics, and get in touch whenever you need to. We look forward to seeing you guys in person soon. Take care. Thanks.